Today we are talking with Mr. Rod Hook, the director of the company SkyWay Transport Australia. But you all know him very well. Hello, Rod.
Hello, Michael. Great to be here again. It's my third trip to Minsk and Belarus, and each time it's been extremely valuable.
Thank you, and welcome back. You are always welcome on our land. What is the aim of your visit now? Please explain.
Two purposes, I guess. One is that there's been further development on the test site. I was keen to have a look at that. I was last here in June last year, so a chance to see it operating to the stage it is at the moment, and to again renew acquaintance, but also an opportunity with Peter Doggett, who's from our National Rail Regulator Office, who happened to be in Europe, and we've had discussions about what their role might be in the future if we get to the stage of needing their endorsement. And it was just a great opportunity for me and for SkyWay Transport Australia to be able to catch up with Peter here, who was in Europe and was prepared to come across and just have his introductory technology.
Thank you very much. What are his impressions, maybe just in brief impressions after the visit to the office and the Eco-Techno Park and the production facility?
To speak on behalf of Peter, I think he would be impressed with the level of detail. I think, like me, he'd be impressed with the knowledge of Anatoly and the whole team and the effort they have put into coming up with an innovative and cost-effective and environmentally friendly rail system. And of course, I'm approaching this as a part of a company who's keen to see if we can get this to the stage of a commercial operation in Australia. For us to get there, we need to deal with certification, and so we have rail regulation processes.
Thank you very much. What are your connection? Because I know that in November, when we first tested it, you were not present here. You sent here your lieutenant, let's say it this way, or a deputy, Marie Walkup. Well, greetings, Marie. Which you were here. So, what are your impressions?
Of course, it's important for us to see a test site in operation, albeit on this side of the world, because whenever I talk about SkyWay in Australia, and probably the first question I inevitably get is, where does it operate? And I've been able to say, well, there's a test site being built in Belarus. I will love to be able to say, even after July this year, and it's operating in Belarus. That's important for us to actually in operation and sell it and commercialise it for potential use in Australia or anywhere else in the world.
Thank you very much, Rod. I think all the partners of our project are glad that we have such a partner, a counterpart in Australia as you. Thank you, and greetings to Marie and all the SkyWay team of Australia.
Thank you, Michael. Lovely to be catching up with you and Anatoly and Victor and others on this trip again.
Welcome back.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar and business opportunity, which is provided by SkyWay New Zealand Group. 5th of June. So here we are in the middle of winter, just about coming up. I'd like to also thank everybody that have been coming on a weekly basis to the presentations as well. So commend you guys for that. And on the webinar tonight, we're using a different platform called Citrix, which is GoToWebinar. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see like a arrow that you can, and that'll open up the control panel for you to type any questions or answers. That from you as well along the way. So my name's Darren Haywood, and I've been with the company since February 2017 this year, and I'm spending 100% of my time here now, but I've only started to take it more serious in probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, here I am 4 months into it already, and now the business is going through a very important time and development stage. So I still want to be involved, and I've done previous businesses as well before, where I spent one of my businesses water purification industry, which was for about 8 years. I did some other things there as well with appliances and financing, so superannuation, life insurance, that type of thing. Also training teams. So today I'm more involved in directing my skills towards marketing and business management, as well as training and building a strong team. So I initially joined the company as a private investor, and since then I've started becoming more involved with the company since the last few weeks, as I was saying, and I've decided to do the Master Profi course, which allows you to go further up in the rankings within the company. So I believed in the company right from the beginning. Like, I could see the bigger picture, of the company. So obviously, this is the reason why I'm here today, to share my understanding and knowledge to you about the company. So hopefully, guys, it'll give you a bigger and better picture of what you're, why you were invited to this webinar, and the person who shared this opportunity with you. So if you've got any Q&As, questions or answers that you want to put into that, as I say, just click onto the arrow, and or you'll see like a picture of a speech bubble. Just open that up, and it'll be able to open up the... So here we are, guys. This is what we call a global challenge. We call it. It's just a and whereabouts in the world you are, you're faced with the same disaster. If it's road accidents or pollution or road works happening or public transport cancellations and delays, overcrowded platforms at train stations, and people trying to get on trains and being pushed away, and sometimes you might even miss the train because there's too many people getting on. Also, the pollution of all those different transportation systems, it's polluting the water, it's polluting the air, mainly by today's transport industry. Not only that, all the pollution that's been burnt off from the fuels that are being used to generate this transport. It's not a good thing. It's not healthy for the environment. A lot of these things that you see around the world, there's like these old oil tankers that have leaked the oceans and destroying our sea life. Once it was the most healthiest food that you could actually eat was, seafood. But today you've got to be a little bit wary of what you actually are eating from the sea, with all the contamination that's going on. Even in a lot of population, you see the bigger the population, the more pollution. So things aren't as pure as they are in the smaller places, guys. Just look at that bottom left-hand corner there. This is what some countries are putting up with the pollution. You can see that haziness in the background. That's just all pollution from... So this is some of the available transport today. And you can see wherever this transport, there's more and more space being taken up. So there's actually like no space left just about in some of these pictures for any more infrastructure to be even put in. It's just like looking at that picture in the middle there of all the train lines and how much space that's utilising just to use that that train, plus all the other ones around the pictures too, like one up the top right hand corner. Look how many tracks just on there, just all that land is being used just for the transport. Now this is a guy by the name of Anatoly Yunitsky. He's the founder of the company. He has got his own web page here, which is this one that you see here. That'll give you all the information that you need about Anatoly Yunitsky and his whole life history, and all the different awards and certificates that he's achieved over those years. He's a scientific engineer, and he came up with this idea from years and years of tests and trial and error and everything like that. He's got over 100 different awards and certificates. That's just some of the ones that you see there. This gentleman, he's a very, very nice gentleman to meet. He's got a very big heart, very easy to talk to him. I haven't actually met him myself yet, but just from what I've heard, he sounds like a very nice gentleman. And he is the guy that is behind all this SkyWay string technology. Now, I want you to meet another guy. This guy is actually the CEO of our company. His name is Andrei Haratov. He is actually a private investor, and he started up the academy about 8 years ago now. And what his mission is to do is to educate people on investments. Now, he wanted to do that originally worldwide, and because of he speaks in Russian, he was limited to able to only speak to the Russian audience at that time. Now, since technology's got better, he can now extend that to the whole world, and he's got a lot of English-speaking people in the business too now, so that makes a big difference. So his expertise could be translated into different languages. So this is what we call an educational investment portal. What he will do is show you how you can actually have money working for you instead of you having to work for money. Okay, isn't it a lot easier to be able to have money working for you, do you think, than you having to work for money all the time? So it's all in the way that you, to make those decisions and everything with how you accumulate those extra. So this guy got together with Anatoly Yunitsky because he was quite interested in the project that he was doing with the SkyWay transport. And initially, when Anatoly Yunitsky started all this off, it was about 40 years ago when the idea started with this, and he just developed it over those years. But only in the last three years or so, he's actually turned it into a worldwide entity. So this gentleman, Andrei Haratov, he said to him that he would like to become a partner with Anatoly and show him how he can make this business, something big for him. Because Anatoly, after all, he's a scientific engineer, he wasn't actually an investor or sales or marketer or anything like that. So this guy's expertise, together with Anatoly's expertise, have made this company what it is. So initially, Anatoly Yunitsky, he was the bank, lent him the money for this project to get off the ground. He thought, oh, that sounds quite good. But then when he worked it out, it was going to cost him about 3 to 4 times to pay it all back in the interest. So that wasn't a good idea. So he thought, no, he doesn't want to do that. So then the next thing, what happened was a lot of the big investors come along, and they offered to take about 75% or more. That was the deal. And he thought, no, he doesn't want to do that. he spent all these years developing this. Why would he want to just throw it all away to some investors? So this is where Andrei Haratov comes in, and he was talking about a better way than using banks and a better way than using investors, and that was to crowdfund. Okay, so crowdfunding can do a lot more and fund a lot more than what one or two big investors could ever do. So that's what they decided to do, and then do the crowdfunding thing. So Anatoly didn't know anything about crowdfunding, so Andrei actually showed him and taught him all about it and how it all worked. So when he sort of saw exactly how it all worked, he was interested then in pursuing that. So 3 years ago, this is when they actually got together and signed an agreement. That was done on the 4th of September 2014 between SkyWay Invest Group and Eurasian Rail Skyway Systems Limited. So what's so unique about SkyWay? Okay, this is our baby of the family, this one. This is called the Unibike. It's a light, compact vehicle. It's designed mainly for going around in parks. Okay, it can travel of speeds of up to 120 kilometers an hour. And you can travel around in this Unibike. Instead of having to walk like miles and miles around a big park, you just jump in one of these and it will take you around. We've also got this. This is more for the suburban areas where you can connect up suburbs to suburbs. So this is mounted transport as well as suspended. It's designed for short distances of up to 200 kilometers an hour and speeds of up to 150 kilometers an hour. That's the Unibus. We've also got cargo transport or freight. This can be also mounted and suspended. It's designed for long distances of up to 10,000 kilometers and speeds of up to 500 kilometers. So handy if you're like wanting to, like for example, South Africa, they make a lot of coffee beans and things, and a lot of that coffee beans are exported over to the closest country from there, which was apparently China. Instead of having that just transported across to the other side of South Africa to the north, do trading with another country. So the same country doesn't actually get to receive some of the country's natural products. So I can imagine, like, if they had something like this, the south to the north of Africa, then they can start selling the coffee beans to that side of the country instead of through to China. There's also the high speeds transportation system. This is the elite of the SkyWay technology. Now this one's the most expensive one to and this is to basically connect up city to city or continent to continent. So this can be mounted as well as suspended. It's designed for long distances of up to 10,000 kilometers, and it can travel with speeds up to 500 kilometers per hour. So here's a summary of the different transportation systems we have. There's 4 different types. Now, the way I look at it, and a lot of us see this, is the high-speed one. That's for countries that want to connect their cities to cities. Say if they don't want to connect the cities to cities or continents to continents, then there's this one just for the suburbs. If they don't want to connect the suburbs to suburbs, they don't need that perhaps, then they might just need this one, the cargo one for freight or anything like that. Then they may just need this light Unibike. Okay, so that's the 4 different types that are available, and each one could be suitable for that country's requirements. So just looking at the past and today of some of the designs that they've done with the Unibus and the Unibike, and the stations that they're going to be using to launch the SkyWay and 2. Also, you'll see like some coloured things on the right hand bottom corner. Now those have actually been all put there to show that you've got the SkyWay here. But when he first started up the project years and years ago, there were some people that were non-believers, and they like saying the whole thing that he's doing is just absolutely nonsense, and they said to him that it's never going to get off the ground, and they told him to go and get a job again and stop thinking about this crazy idea about these flying trains and all this sort of thing. It's just absolute sort of things he was talking. So they had some people that come in and destroyed everything that he had, destroyed all his scientific work he'd created, and all his engineering stuff was all just absolutely destroyed. They knocked all the wall and everything down or something to get in and break all his equipment. So he had to start from scratch again around. So the second time when he did start again, he put up an electric fence around the whole property, so and destroy it like that. So there were a few concerns then when they started up again with this electric fence being close to animals nearby. But when they set it up, they actually set it up so they've got like an electronic noise that would come up when an animal gets too close. It will trigger off this electronic noise to stop the animal from coming near the fence. So that takes care of that. So they never had any incidents or anything like that. Technology they use. So today in the future, you can see this is the Eco Techno Park where they're doing the demonstration in here, and they've got the different vehicles being tested out on that rail. So a lot of times people ask different questions. Well, there's like the magnetic levitation one, and there's the Hyperloop, and there's the SkyTran. How do those ones compare with your one? So I thought that's a good question, and what better way to do this than to compare all the other opposition ones as well. So what we've done is we've put this analysis chart together to show what the other ones are like compared to SkyWay. So the SkyWay is the one along the top one here. One is the magnetic levitation. Now that can travel from speeds of up to 600 kilometers per hour. It's $105 million per kilometer to have that system infrastructure placed into. 105 million per kilometer. Now the Hyperloop can travel up to 1,300 kilometers now. I don't know about you, but I don't think I would like to travel that speed inside a system like that. That's too fast. That's also $100 million roughly for each kilometer. Now to travel on these two, you just about have to be a millionaire just to afford to be on there. And then there's this one, SkyTran, which can travel up to 240 kilometers per hour. And that's 6 million per kilometer. So that's nearly down to about the price that we have. So our one is 3 to 8 million per kilometer. Being the Unibike, maybe 8 million would be more the SkyWay Elite system. For safety, let's look at that. SkyTran has got high safety. The Hyperloop's moderate safety at 1,300 kilometers an hour. Safety at the magnetic levitation. And our one is very high safety, SkyWay. So they're all eco-friendly. The SkyTran can only travel along on flat ground within the cities. So it's limited only within the cities on flat ground. It can only travel on flat ground. The magnetic levitation can only travel on flat ground. But SkyWay, look at that. We can travel across any terrain, across the sea, across mountains, through jungles, deserts, wherever. So you can imagine we can create real estate in the desert and have the SkyWay system connected up to this new real estate in the desert, and have like environmentally friendly environments instead of pollution everywhere. So that's it, guys. It's all about crowdfunding, and it all started with an idea. And you probably know of other sites out there now where they have crowdfunding available, like Give a Little and Kickstart, and those type of sites. So this is just it's the same sort of thing, but instead of the crowdfunding is going towards, at the moment, to get the demonstration park completed, which is this one here. Park is 26 hectares in length, and it's just recently had an extra 16 kilometres added onto that for the high-speed train system, because remember that's got to get up to like 500 kilometres per hour. So this is some land that was donated by the government. It was ex-military land. They've done now, they've turned all the ex-military land back into an environmentally friendly area of land again, planting new trees in there. Also, vegetation's being planted in there. Plus, you can see the SkyWay high-speed train system here. This one's going to be for the unibus, and there's another one for the freight, and the smaller one here is going to be for the unibike. So with this investment, they need $200 million by the end of this year. So far, they have raised 27 million plus for the demonstration park to be completed. So by the 1st of July, this is going to be open to the public. The high-speed train system will be fully completed by Christmas, but you'll be able to see that being started there by that time. This is a picture looking at it from Google Earth. Ponds there for fish to swim around into. So it's going to be really nice when it's all fully finished. So this is in a place called Mariina Gorka Minsk, which is Belarus. Now, when they decide that they're going to go into the initial public offering, which is the stock exchange, they have to have this in place beforehand, and that's what's called an International Security Identification Number. In this case, it's VG 322291094, and it's just a standardized protocol that is required to be on the stock exchange, and also to be able to trade on private or public companies. So if you're thinking about jumping on board, guys, with this is a very, very crucial time right now. After the 1st of July, which is only a few weeks away, they're doing away with the pre-IPO shares. There will be no more monthly payments available. Okay, so if you're going to do something, you need to do it before the 1st of July. If you do it before the 1st of July, then that will still lock you in to be able to continue those monthly payments past that date. But if you leave it past that date and think that you can start the payments after then, it wouldn't be any longer available. So we've gone through 9 stages of 15. Here we are back in 1978 when the technology was first developed. When it started to become like a proper company back in 2014, it started to move very quickly. So as I say, 9 out of 15 stages are completed now. And the next stage is going to be going on to the IPO. They believe it's going to be somewhere between 2018 and 2020. It could be sooner than that. So we're not too far away from it now. So we're just waiting at this stage for technical documentation to be finished. And once that's all finished, that technical documentation, as well as the certification, the demonstration part requires this documentation before they can actually allow the other countries to begin development. So as soon as they've got that all signed off with that, I know some of it's already been signed off now, then that will allow the other countries who already paid to have this technology implemented in there for them to begin. These are some of the countries already that have been in talks with us, and there's been documents signed. And as I say, with the technical documentation that's happening right now, once that's complete, all these countries here are going to be using local within their countries to build this. Okay, so they are buying like the intellectual property off of Anatoly Unitsky, and they're going to be using their local people to build that infrastructure. Most of the countries that you see there can do that themselves. You know, so it's keeping that money on that side of things within the country to give more jobs and everything for people, to create more and more employment. This was India. India is just at the moment going through, they're doing 3 or 4 projects, I believe. They're building the system across 19 different cities within India. And this was one of the government officials that you can see here on the bottom left-hand corner, where Anatoly Unitsky is some form of document given to him there. On the right-hand side at the bottom, you can see the Anatoly in the middle there, and to the right of him, the man in the leadership suit is the Dalai Lama. Now, he's a spiritual leader, and he's from Tibet. He is saying to Anatoly, look, he's actually given them his blessing, and he said to him, don't give up what you're doing. He said, keep doing what you're doing. He said, if this can connect up the world like this, it's a great thing. And he's just so happy for Anatoly to come up with this brilliant idea, technology. So India have actually paid $922 million so far to have this technology put into their country. There's also a recent trip done by another person in the company by the name of Mila. She traveled to Ethiopia and she met with different people there. She met with the mayor over there, as well as the transport head, and also the CEO. So again, this is a country that can do all the infrastructure themselves. They've got all the tools and everything to do that. The only things they may need to bring over from Belarus is some of the type of fittings that they will require for the technology to be completed. So these guys are very, very, very excited to have this all put in. To imagine without that before what it has probably been like. Some of these areas, by the way, guys, they're probably maybe 20 or 30 or more years overdue to have this technology even put in. So this is another one here. They have we have like the shows or exhibitions. This is the same sort of thing. Showing off the SkyWay. This is in India. You can see that they've got a model of the SkyWay there, showing it as mounted and suspended, and that's just going around in like a back and forth on a little track. It's also going to have all the latest technology built into it too. You're going to have massage chairs in that. It's also going to have Wi-Fi. So if you're traveling, say, from Hamilton to Auckland, for example, that would be like a trip of about maybe 1 hour or hour, 10 minutes by road if there's no traffic. SkyWay would take you a lot quicker than that, maybe only about 20 minutes or less to travel that same distance. So what's in it for you? Okay, you guys have probably heard of some of the Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Amazon, Apple, Alibaba. What do all these companies got in common? Okay, these companies, what they've all got in common is that they're all like worldwide companies. So anything that goes worldwide usually goes big on the share market and stock markets exchanges. I know that Microsoft, last I heard, they had like shares of about $860 or something ridiculous for one share. And that's just for computers and only for phones, you know. Like a transportation system, what do you think is going to reach per share on the SkyWay share market? Who knows what it's going to reach, but you know, you might get a return back on there of about 3,000% in your first 12 months. So anything like that, as I say, guys, that goes worldwide is definitely worth, you know, having a second look at. So this is the first opportunity, and what I would recommend you possibly can to do that is to do EIP 9, which is an Educational Investment Program 9. That is 5,000 US. There would give you 700,000 pre-IPO shares. Okay. Now, if those shares suddenly go over $850 like Microsoft per share, 1,000 times 50, say, work out to be. If you've got a calculator, I'd love to know what that works out to be. If it's more affordable just to do this one, you know, just get $250 US worth, that would still give you 23,000 years. Monthly options, as I say, up to the 1st of July. Now, those options monthly can start from 15 US and go right up to 5,000 US. And whatever's sort of affordable rate, I guess, there. The higher that you can possibly do, the better. This is the second opportunity, and that is you can do this through networking, multi-level marketing, like a lot of people call it, or MLM. So some people come in as an investor and they just pay so much money. Like when I started, that's what I did. I just, you know, paid so much money into it and become an investor. And then I got up the rankings and currently at the advisor level now, going to. But the other way you can do this as well, as I say, is through networking and just introducing people into the business. And that's how a lot of people have also done it in the company too. You know, there's no problem to do that. If money's a little bit tight, perhaps this would be the ideal way to do it, because you don't need the money to start building a lot of your business with this. Techno Park. Now, this is the one that's going to be open to the public on the 1st of July, 2017. If you want to find out a bit more information about this one, just go down to this information there on what you need to do. So at the moment, we're giving away a free gift with that, and that would be the 8 rules of investment, and you know that's offered to you as a complimentary gift for becoming part of SkyWay. Now, we also have some events coming up too, live events. This is coming up in New Zealand on the 17th and 18th of June. Not far away now, guys, only a week away or so. And that's going to be up in Orewa, which is north of Auckland. And it's going to be held at Victor Eves Park, which is in Florence Avenue in Orewa. There's going to be a few people there. It's going to be a well-known person that's going to be there that everybody knows in New Zealand anyway. So do try and get along, guys. It's free to come along. It starts at 12. It's going to be held at the Victor Eves Park Sports Club rooms. Now, if you want to find out a bit more information about that, you can type in SkyWay New Zealand into Facebook, and you should see that in there for that. If you want to just scroll down the page, you'll see that, and you can tick a little box to say that you would like to attend the event. It's also going to be in Australia as well. on that date as well, 22nd of June. And we're also, that's in Perth, and I believe we're also going to be looking at June as well on the Gold Coast, which I hope to be at that one. So if you want to stay updated with what's happening, guys, this is the Facebook group, SkyWay New Zealand, all lower caps. And if you want to subscribe to the SkyWay New Zealand, just type that in there, and you'll see the picture of the SkyWay. So thank you very much, guys. And any questions or answers that you may have, please just put them in the chat box, and we'll answer those shortly. If there's any that you do think of after this is not live, it's now the replay you're listening to, you can always send me a message through Skype, or same ID for Facebook as well. All right, I do hope you enjoyed that today, guys, or this evening, and we will be back again next week, same time at 8 o'clock PM New Zealand Standard Time. We'll see you all then. Thanks very much today and tonight for coming.